Well, hello there and welcome. I am S.R. Mowry and this is Mistwood Publishing, the best place to rediscover your wonder and to allow yourself to still be inspired. Hey, so I wanted to talk about another character today from the Servants of Judgment book, a new character that, you haven't met yet. And that is Lyra Svechnikov. And yes, her last name and her sister's last name are after a hockey player that I love. But it is what it is. So the Wood Elves of Southern Verdurn are very different than any kind of elf that you have seen in any sort of a book. So anytime, or movie, or show. So anytime I write a book, I want to give people something that they haven't seen before while still celebrating what fantasy is and not losing what true fantasy is. I'm not really interested in giving people this new idea of fantasy, which has largely become prevalent through like D&D and pop culture. This kind of like everybody's got like the shaved side hairdo, and it's less about action and more about exploring weird fetishes and things like that. So I'm not like, that's not me. That's not going to be in my books. I want to provide something different to fantasy, but I don't want to do that. That's weird, and no. That's just not me. You're not going to get that from my books. You're not going to get like the weird, whatever you want to call it, culture in my books. So, but you are going to get things that you've never seen before. So one of those things is that the Wood Elves of Verdurn are almost like Conan the Barbarian and Red Sonja, but elves. So imagine Legolas, but he's also like Conan the Barbarian. Or what's the female character from The Hobbit? I can't remember her. Tauriel? But she's Red Sonja, right? Barbarian, like fantasy stereotype barbarian mixed with the stereotype of an elf. But Lyra is different even within her own culture. So Lyra's sister pretty much fits the barbarian character that we're going to explore. But Lyra is not her sister. She is like the nerdy bookworm. So she doesn't fit in with the High Elves or the Wood Elves of this Southern society. She is going to be the character that I would probably imagine that my sisters would like the most, just because she is the most undeniably lovable character in the entire book. I mean, somebody that reads this book and doesn't find Lyra to be absolutely adorable and amazing, they might be a psychopath, to be honest with you, because Lyra might be the single most likable character that I have ever written in my life. She is that girl next door librarian thrust onto an adventure that she, kind of like Bilbo Baggins, you know what I mean? Like, you love Bilbo Baggins because he's this laughably comfortable dork who gets thrust into this great adventure that is so above, like over his head. Yet he's brave. Yet he finds ways to be useful. Like I said in my Zipes video, I wanted to make characters that were not just good warriors. And like Talia in Saga 1 kind of fit that bill. But Talia was always going to become a capable warrior. That's not Lyra. Lyra's never going to become a capable warrior. That's not the point of her. That's not the goal. Her assets, what she brings to the table, is elsewhere. And it's always going to be that way. And so I wanted to have these characters that are useful in a different manner because it mixes things up. You know, not everything can be solved with just some muscle, which was kind of the case in Saga 1. Everything kind of gets solved with the blade, and that's not going to be the case in this book. They have to use their brains. They have to get creative because they're going up against foes and challenges that you can't muscle out of. You know, they're going up against Redgazar the Red, this dragon that's so big he can barely fit in a mountain, right? And he is one of the most powerful beings on the planet. And how do you steal an artifact that is like the most important thing to him? They have to steal a weapon of judgment from Redgazar the Red. How do you steal it from him? And yeah, I mean, it is a little bit of a homage to The Hobbit in that aspect, but it also couldn't be more different. Outside of the fact that there's a red dragon they're stealing something from, you know, that's where the similarities begin and end. But Lyra she loves her sister more than anything else. She just wants to help, you know. She very selfless. You know, she's very likable. She's a hero that you can look up to and aspire to be, that is like achievable. You know what I mean? Like, she's an elf, but she's human enough to where I think most readers will feel like she could be me, right? I could be her, she could be me. And she's very, very likable, very easily relatable, and I'm very, 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 very confident that she will be a fan favorite for particularly female readers, but also, I mean, male readers will also like her because she does have that girl next door vibe. Anyway, I hope you like Lyra. She is a real hoot and a real pleasure to write. I'll never get tired of writing Lyra. Have a good day.